Welcome back to the Nightlife podcast, again from Brickell, Bar Seco in Brickell. And today, bro, believe it or not, I thought this day was never gonna come. These guys you see around me are my partners in crime and in business, if the two don't go together. So, starting from my right all the way to my left, we have, what's your name again?
My name is Alan Diaz.
Is it really? We got Alan. Alan, what's your Instagram so people can follow you?
Adan Alejandro.
Adan Alejandro.
Gustavo Quilla,
Gustavo.
Julio's older partner.
And when he says older, he means he's the older guy in the group. And the little baby.
Diaz.
What's your name?
Christian Diaz.
And Christian Diaz. Is that your Instagram?
Chris Benja 11.
So at Chris Benja 11. All right, so the four of us are what you guys know as LMG Miami, or the main part of the team. So we're gonna have a discussion today about what happens behind the scenes before a party starts. Basically, what people don't get to see. Anybody that's not in the business and goes out to a party, what is it that they don't see that goes on before? And anybody that's in the business, especially from the promotion marketing side, what is it they have to do? So any promotion company or any promoter, what are all the things that somebody needs to do in order to get a party going on? And we're gonna talk a little about that and about what we do and how we get it all set up and done. And we'll touch a little bit at the end of the episode on also from the venue side of the business, what the GM does or the owner, and every little piece. So first things first, any thoughts that you guys have? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you're thinking, okay, you're gonna start a new party, which by the way, we're gonna start a new party on this Friday, and we're gonna unveil the party tonight at 8 p.m. Actually, tonight is not today, you're seeing this tomorrow, so tonight was yesterday. So we're gonna unveil it at 8 p.m. all together with the whole team of promoters. We've been doing a little amping up the people, teasers. There you go. We've been teasing people with a few pictures and a few messages and a little bit of music of what's to come starting this Friday. So let's talk a little bit about that. Like what is all the things that we've been having to do prior to getting this party started? What do you say?
A lot of organization, a lot of ideas, putting them all together.
Right.
Debating on what to do, how the staff is gonna work together, all those type of things.
Right. So what would you think, Guilla, that is the first thing that you have to do in the whole process of putting the whole thing together? What would that first thing be?
It all begins in picking the right place. I really believe we like to do places that nobody has done before. So for us, it's all about challenges. We like to do different things.
Right.
In this case, the place we're choosing right now, it's going to be a new challenge. It's something that we haven't done in a while. We just work, it happens. I mean,
right. But when he says nobody's done it before, what he means is it's a venue that no other company has thrown a party at the venue. So this is a new venue. It's been open for a few months, but they haven't done any kind of party. We're gonna throw what we see in the business as a dinner party that grows into a late night party. We actually start from the happy hour and all that kind of stuff because it is gonna be on the Friday nights. Happy hours are good on Fridays. So yeah, so he's saying looking for a venue, and actually that's, people sometimes forget about that. And what they do is somebody calls them and says, I have a place, do you want to grab this night? And they just say yes right away. People don't think about it. How many options do I have? Correct. What am I going to be able to do at this venue?
Weigh the options.
Exactly. Weigh all the options and all that. And as a matter of fact, this venue that we're talking about on Friday, even though at the end we all came together and said, okay, so this is the right choice, and
it took a while.
It took us a long time.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
yes.
And when we say a while, it means over 2 months to make the decision of this is the venue that we're going to go with. So you guys understand, before this party that's going to happen in 3 days, we were planning 2 months ahead, okay? So, with that said, if you can see, Christian likes to talk a lot. So, with that said, what would you say, Chris, is the next thing right after picking the correct venue and knowing that everybody's on the same page that we're gonna do that one night?
Well, I think the next step is doing a soft opening and a grand opening.
All right, so soft opening, for those of you that don't understand, is kind of a day where you test the waters in a way. So we sometimes believe that having a soft opening is positive, and sometimes it's not.
It depends.
And it all really depends on the venue. Okay, so we go with soft opening when a venue is something completely new and different to what we normally do, which is the case in this
Bar, lounges,
exactly.
nightclubs, you go all out.
Exactly. So if we're gonna open a nightclub, if we were to open, say a place like Bloom here, like Live on the beach, like anything big and energetic, it would be a different story because we would know. Okay, so it's a grand opening. You go, the word grand opening, says it all. It's grand. You gotta go all in. Make sure that you have all your people there, all your promoters working, all that kind of stuff. The difference between that and what we're gonna do this week, which is a soft opening, is we're bringing what some people call friends and family. So all our friends, all our family, friends of friends, and our best or closest clients. So we know right ahead that it's not gonna be a huge night as to maybe the amount of people that will be there, even though we are adding an event this week, which is Christian's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday. But thank you. So that way we get to test the venue. We get to see if the venue is ready for what we're gonna bring the following week. Okay. So this is something we're gonna do every Friday, and we're hoping to make sure that during the soft opening, when we have our closest people, we can fix the issue. All right.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, like 3D.
Exactly. So before the soft opening happens and before the grand opening happens, if that's the route that you decide to go, there's a whole process of creation also. Kind of what Anna was talking about, and it goes into what are we gonna do marketing wise, for example. Which way are we gonna promote it? What target? What is the correct target for this venue? Are the promoters in our team into this? As a matter of fact, so we don't involve the sub promoters in the decision of the venue itself, but we involve them as like right now. Like today is the day that we're gonna bring out what the venue is, and it's also the day that we're telling all our sub promoters in our meeting that this is what we're gonna be doing starting this week, because we've been keeping this very hermetic, very close, very private. Sometimes when you tell the wrong people, things get out, and you don't want the information to get out of this business. Right. It's very secretive, and you need to control that. Sometimes it's not because people want to say it just to hurt you or whatever. It's just that everybody's friends with somebody that works for the competition, and somebody might mention something and it gets to the wrong person, and you never know. You end up losing the contract for whatever reason. Somebody comes and offers something different, and when you have lies or whatever, or you just get that negative energy that is always
Or they'll
there.
do a concert right on the day of your opening.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens, and we've seen that happen a lot. Which, by the way, it's also it's a tip. As a matter of fact, a lot of people try to compete with others by trying to hurt them and doing things outside of their comfort zone, like maybe throwing a concert when you shouldn't be throwing a concert, with not enough time preparation, maybe at the wrong venue. Different things. Money, usually the reason why, and usually the reason why it's not correct either, because at the end you'll end up not making money to try to make somebody else not make money on that night. And we were having a conversation before this, before the episode, and it was really about that, about the fact that we basically concentrate on making our nights better, on working, on bringing positive things, not just, what do you call it, not trying to hurt others.
Right.
Competition needs to be, right, it just needs to be clean.
We worry about ourselves first.
There's money for everybody too. So
Exactly.
basically, you're
Exactly. So just that if you have money, come spend it with us first.
Right.
All right, so part of the preparation, flyers, social media, of course.
Definitely.
You know, and it all depends. Most of you are probably working your own social media, so
2019 influencers.
yes, influencers, 100%. A lot of video,
Yes.
and that's one of the big things is influencers. And remember, we've spoken about this in the previous episode. Actually, we spoke about influencers, and one of the main things that you need to concentrate on is look for somebody that actually influences the target that you are going for. You know, it's not about having a lot of followers. It's about having the right type of followers. You don't need somebody with 8 million followers in Venezuela if you're here in Miami and your clientele is not that. If you're catering to a different one. So look at that, the demographic and the reality of who follows those people first. And of course, the money value of what you really get in return.
And the best tool? Cell phone, guys.
Your phone.
Yeah.
This is key.
This is the main weapon. If you're not
Yes.
making phone
Personals,
calls,
yeah.
text, today social media, you handle it from there. You know, even video. Most people are producing video on their phones. You know, so almost everything that you're gonna be doing, it's actually gonna be through the phone.
Yes. We believe a mistake that promoters are making and a misperception from their side is they believe by posting something on social media, they think everybody's going to follow or everybody's going to show up. And that's just a reminder.
You need to be a little bit more personal.
Right.
Basically making calls, actually writing to people and stuff like that.
Yes.
Right, right. All right, so I'm gonna tell you a little kind of trick in a way of the way that I, let's say, pre-produce an event, or the way that I see it in my mind, and I set it up. And it's pretty much like if you think of taking a shower and getting ready in the morning, I kind of do a little bit of that. So you know the way you take a shower, and most people know also even when they're gonna dry themselves with a towel, they know where the towel goes first and
That's
where it
kind
goes
of
last.
personal.
Exactly. But yeah, but you don't think about it when you get the next time that you use the towel. What was the last thing you cleaned? But in the end, with the throwing of a party, you know, it's like getting dressed in a way.
Yes.
You get dressed and you put your underwear first, and then you know, well, whatever your order is your order.
Well,
you know? I put my underwear first, and
You
then I
go
just
from the
run
inside
around.
out. In a club, you go from the outside in.
Exactly.
That's the way we see it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we start with what we just spoke about right now. What we just spoke about, which is the outside.
Correct.
And the outside
Yes.
for us starts from far away, from
Valet
days
park.
before. So
Yeah.
getting everything ready. So now that we spoke about, okay, so we're getting ready with the production and the, you know, but we didn't actually. We spoke about the marketing side of it, but we didn't talk production-wise. So we have to find different people that are going to be working for us.
Yes.
And in that case, one of the main things is music.
Of course. Exactly.
So the process of finding the correct DJ is very important. It goes
Target
also
first.
with the target, with the venue itself. You know, with the night of the week, is this person available? If you're a company that's been around for a long time, it's very likely that you will have the DJs that follow you and work with you only. And as a matter of fact, I mean, we've had Wheelie for 25 years in the company, and we've had Christian, you know, for a while with us. We've had over 100 DJs play for us in the 25 years. But those are, you know, like those guys have been with us maybe Willie the
Resident
longest for
DJs.
sure. But exactly, they follow the company wherever it goes. And at this moment in time, Friday night
generation.
will be also the launch kind of a new DJ who's going to be part of the family more often, be with us more nights and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of exciting in that sense because we're going to be catering to a crowd that's been left behind and forgotten kind of. Everybody's excited about the kind of music we're going to be playing and the kind of venue that we're going to be at, which is kind of upscale in a way.
I don't know if we give details about
We haven't gone.
see it. I mean, when we plan an event, we basically, in our minds, we go through the experience of what our clients are going to be experimenting that night.
Exactly.
We basically start from the valet parking.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we move to the door. Then we go inside to see the layout of the place. Then
But let's stop right there. So valet parking. What we're looking at valet parking is
service.
do we have a good service?
Yes.
If the venue does not have good service, we get the service. We have different valet companies we bring into the table. So you guys need to have relationships with those. if there is no possibility of having a good valet, you need good parking. You need to make
Soft
sure
parking, yes.
that if you have a venue that holds 1,000 people, that you have a venue that also holds 250 cars, so that you can have those 1,000 people. Even though you have Uber in areas like
Exactly.
like Brickell or South
Downtown.
Beach and all that kind of stuff, and New York and all that, it's probably taxi and Uber 100%. But in most places you need parking if it's a place where people drive.
Yes.
So that's with the valet. Then at the door. So
Greeter.
door you have a few different parts of the door.
Yes.
So the front of the door, which is very important. A lot of venues have this part of the staff set, and they already know who it is that works, and it works for them. But we like to bring somebody of our own most of the time. Ideally for 2 positions at the door that are the cashier and the hostess.
Yeah,
Hostess
and the doorman.
meaning the one that's doing the actual,
Yes.
guest list and seeing who brings, what promoters bring whom and all that kind of stuff. So you guys get paid later.
Greetings.
And greeting. But then the doorman is one that we love to have on our team, but a lot of the venues have on their own.
But it's very important, that position. Because that's the guy that's going to make sure that the tables are sold to the right clients, and they're able to identify, maybe more or less, sometimes profiling a little bit, who has money or who doesn't.
Right.
To see what, how much you can get from a client.
Right.
It depends, on the type of doorman you have.
Right. And I know a lot of doormen are gonna hate this, but there's one thing that we like a lot, and it's a door woman, door girl.
Oh yes.
When the right door girl is doing the job, that door's unstoppable with sales. And shout outs to Sol, who was probably the first door girl
Sol,
to do
Paulina.
something crazy. So about both of them did crazy stuff with the doors, and it started a new a generation of female doors. But yeah, so make sure that if they're not on your team, whoever the doorman is or door girl, if they're not on your team, make them part of your team, or make sure that they're working with you, that you're working together. And even if you have to put your hands in your pocket a little bit, take care of them. Make sure that they're happy where they are, but they're also happy with you working. So that's there. Then you get through that door, you finally get through the ropes, and you come into the venue. And what we cater to the people is mostly the music part as a promotion company. If we were the venue, we'd have to be thinking about liquor and staff and waitresses, hostess, the whole shebang. But that would be a whole complete episode with somebody like Gato.
Yes.
Today we're going to concentrate on the marketing side of the equation, the promoters. So we need to figure out also where it is that we are going to take care of our people.
Right.
So every venue is different, but you need to make sure that where you're going to be taking care of your people is the correct part. And it all really depends. Some venues have set, very nice VIPs that are for the big spenders. You don't want to take that away from the big spenders if you have those big spenders.
Yes.
You don't have those big spenders, then you have that space available. It's good to be seen there because it kind of creates that vibe, that whole, it's a show kind of thing.
Yeah, very important location for the place.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes if you're gonna do an upscale type of party, you need to choose the right location for that.
Right.
Sometimes we choose maybe a wrong location for the upscale clientele, and then you end up having a BC crowd, and you don't reach the sales that you need to reach. So it's probably, good advice just to pick the right location for that.
Right. And again, location is going to vary according to the party that you have.
Yes.
Depending on the energy, do you have tables at the dance floor? Do you have tables in the VIP only? Are tables all over the place? It all depends. Also, how many tables there are available, because for example, we have a team of 30 promoters right now, 30 sub promoters that work with LMG. And these guys, let's say that everybody had a great night and everybody came to the place with over 30 people and everybody sold tables and all the fucking 25 tables are sold. And what do? How do you make them have a table for all of them and all that? It's almost impossible. It doesn't really happen much. I mean, having 30 promoters show up with
all produce at the same time.
Everybody producing at the same
Very
time.
hard.
Very, very difficult.
Yes.
Although we're going to be working on that, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen when everybody gets trained. But the whole process of, you know, getting the promoters sat at a good table or a table that they can cater to their friends and all that is very important. So you need to see this ahead of time. You go, you know, you also look at the beginning of the night. You need to know how many tables do I have reserved.
Exactly.
And according to that, you already know, okay, so I'm going to be pretty much sold out. I'm going to have some tables available. How many tables? Then also you work on maybe mixing some of them. Let's say that if you have only 2 tables available and you have 8 promoters that produce, you have an option of giving them the 2 tables, putting them four of them on one, 4 of them
Make them share
another,
the table, yes.
Or exactly sharing as a team, or you have them sit with the clients that they're selling to, which is ideal. Ideally, they will be sitting with those clients, and whatever you're going to give them as complimentary, they will use at those tables. If you are, by the way, if you're the sub promoter, you don't need to worry about any of this stuff, which is the beautiful part about the sub promoter job. The sub promoter job, all you really need to care about is doing the promotion, bringing the people, and just treating them well at the venue, taking care of them at the venue, making sure, you know.
Part of the hosting part.
Exactly. Concentrate on hosting and promoting and hosting. That's
it.
And the cycle goes around and around and around, and then you have the rest of the week to go to the beach, have a beautiful tan, train like Christian goes to the gym every day.
Day one.
Exactly. It's day one every week. So with that said, we come from the outside in, look at the DJ. Some venues we don't feel comfortable enough with the way they operate, so maybe we get involved a little bit since we have our own venues. You know, plenty of them. We know exactly what we need with the bar staff. Sometimes we recommend staff. Actually, it's something that we're going to be doing with this venue that we're going to open now. After this week, we're most likely going to be bringing new people also to add to their teams. Anyway, you know, I don't want to make this any much longer, but the venue we're going to be opening, so you guys know, if you're here in Miami, it's called La Central. La Central is an Italian venue. It's 45,000 square feet, 3 floors on Brickell City Center, which is the new huge mall here in the city.
Beautiful venue.
Now the second floor of La Central has a great looking bar right smack in the middle with 3 beautiful restaurants around the sides. And we're gonna be throwing the party around this bar and one of the restaurants at the beginning, and then see if it grows to the other 2. And it's gonna be very old school music wise and catered to a niche that people are not really taking care of too much. So, you know, if you're following LMG, which I know you do, you'll see where the party's at, and we'll most likely see you guys over there. So I don't know if there's anything that you guys want to add. I know Christian's been dying to talk.
Follow us, guys. LMG Miami.
Yeah, no, everybody here is following us for sure right now. But and just making sure that everything works together. By the way, getting the promoters excited, pumped about the party is something that's very important too. A lot of times promoters are forgotten. Maybe you guys need to work something when maybe you have like competition amongst them and prices for those that do better than others. A lot of the times there might be somebody in the team that's just extremely good. So you gotta take those out of the equation. Make sure that they're getting treated well always. But if somebody's just out of the question and they're always gonna win contests that you have, you need to make sure that it's done a different way. Or maybe you do it where, for example, promoters that are, you know, like a percentage of whatever they were doing before, whatever their growth is, and you look at that, who's growing the most, who's bringing more, you know.
It's all about production, yeah.
Exactly. In the end, it's all about production, and we got to do it as a team. The company, if you guys are the main promoters, the ones listening out there, you need to get behind the whole process with the venue, with management, with all that. By the way, right after the party, you got to start working already on next week. There's 52 weeks a year, and if you're a company like us, we have 4 parties a week. That means 200 and fucking 8 parties a year. That is a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and a lot of pumping up people. So a lot of flyers get done, and believe me. And that's why sometimes we run into stuff like this that took us 2 months to make a decision, but in the end, we're gonna start the party in 3 days. So hopefully we'll be able to do a good job, and we'll tell you all about it. So again, go follow LMG, get the book on Amazon, and nightlifepodcast.com. You find us, you get us on iTunes, on Podomatic, on Spotify, and YouTube. You find me at that Nightlife Entrepreneur on Instagram. And
Adan Alejandro in Facebook and Instagram.
Gustavo Quilla.
Chris Benhound.
we leave you with the lambada.